Good evening everyone. I'll be taking the chapter on special services, that is public issues. Whenever we think of public issues, we think of the hugely popular public issues that we at CDSL have handled. A couple of years back we handled the hugely popular Coal India issue. Prior to that also we have handled issues like Yes Bank, IDFC. These are the popularly known companies, and of course Reliance Power no one can forget. What we have found at CDSL is whenever there is any good company coming out with a public issue or an IPO, we have seen a huge spurt in the number of demat accounts. So this is a very good business opportunity for all of us here. Whenever any good company coming out with an IPO, we can concentrate our resources in maximizing the number of demat accounts that we handle. Now, as you are all aware, primary market provides a channel to the issuers or the corporates, popularly known as corporates, for raising funds from investors through sale of new securities. Issuers or the corporates issue new securities to raise funds, typically for investment purpose, that is in case the company is going in for an expansion, or for discharging some obligation like in case of debt repayment. Now issuers of securities could be of four types. The first one is it could be a totally new company approaching the capital market for the first time for raising money. Second could be new company promoted by an existing company which is listed on the stock exchanges. Third could be an existing public listed company, and fourth it could be an existing public company which is trying to get listed on the stock exchanges. So for listing it would approach the primary market for raising funds. Now issue of new securities in the primary market can predominantly be done through two phases. One is it could be for public issues, like in case of an IPO, popularly known as initial public offer, or it could be for FPO, which is a follow on public offer, or it could be via private placement to equity investors, that is institutional investors. SEBI guidelines require that each and every company which is approaching the capital market for raising money through public issues, and in case that issue has got a size of more than 10 crores, has to compulsorily do it in the dematerialized form, that is in the demat form. To encourage issue of securities in the demat form, SEBI has come out with comprehensive guidelines for public issues. One of them is that it has made mandatory for all issuer companies which is approaching the investors for raising the money to compulsorily sign agreement with both the depositories, that is with CDSL as well as the other depository. Now investors in case of a public issue can subscribe either in the physical or in the electronic form. To receive securities in the electronic form, obviously the investor would require a demat account, and in case the investor is opting for allotment in the demat form, the investor has to give four important fields which investor has to fill up in the IPO application form. The first is the depository name, that is whether your account is in CDSL or the other depository. Second is the depository participant's name, that is at the DP at which the investor has opened the account, and that particular DP is depository participant ID or the DP ID as we popularly call it, as well as the investor's 16-digit account number in CDSL, or in case if he has opened it in the other depository, it would be the 8-digit account number. Last but not the least, the depository level, we do not charge to the investor for the allotment process in the demat form. Now we will run through the process, that is at CDSL or at the depository level, how are we handling the entire public issue. As you can see on the slide, the first step is the beneficial owner. He gives a filled up demat the IPO application form to the issuer or the registrar and transfer agent. The issuer or registrar and transfer agent then prepares a file which contains the investor's details, that is the demat account number and the other details in case of a IPO. This file is sent by the issuer or the RTA to the depository, that is to us. what we do is we verify that file whether it is in order, and we give back the verification file back to the issuer or the RTA. That is the third step. The fourth step in this entire process is the issuer or the RTA prepares the allotment file and gives it to us, that is to the depository. Based on the file given by the issuer or its registrar and transfer agent to us, we then proceed ahead and credit the securities in the account of the investors. The last step in this entire process is the issuer or the RTA has to send a confirmation, that is the allotment or the refund advice, to the investor, so that investor comes to know that how many securities have been issued to that particular person. Also, the investor will come to know from the monthly statement which the depository participant would be providing to the investor. So, that is the in a nutshell the process of public issue that we handle at the depository level. The public issue facility which is being developed at the depository system, there the first point is the depository communicates the public offer control instruction to all the DPs. Now, in this public offer control instruction, we give the information to the to our depository participant. That information contains the issuer's name, the issue open date, the issue closure date, as well as all the other relevant details. We at the depository level, we allocate a unique identification number to each and every issuer which is coming out with a public offer. The DPs then need to capture the details of the investors from the application form in the DP system that we have provided to the depository participants. The DP system then allows the DP to verify and release the instructions only after the beginning of the day process, which we call it the BOD, of the offer open date, that is the date on which the public offer opens for subscription. After the allotment is done successfully in the account of the investors, we at the depository through the DP system, we provide the information to the DP, the successful list of allottees, those who have received the allotment in the demat form, in their demat account. As well as the investor will also come to know from the intimation received from the issuer or its registrar and transfer agent, the allotment or the refund advice. That is where we end on the public issue chapter. In case if you have any queries, you may please feel free to ask.
Yes, sir. Who can issue guidelines pertaining to the public issue?
The capital markets regulator, which is SEBI, can issue guidelines pertaining to public issues.
Sir, I have one more question.
Yes.
With whom should be issuer or RTA enter into agreement before coming out the public issue?
The SEBI guidelines require that all the issuers which are coming out with the public issue need to sign agreement with both the depositories, that is with us CDSL as well as the other depository. They have to sign the agreement before coming out with a public issue.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.